Hey everybody, I'm forwarding the live video right now. I'll be in just a second. We are fixing to dive into a hive. I want to check this one. Should be fun here. All right. So here's what we're going to do here. Should be fun here. All right. So here's what we're going to do here. Putting you where you can see it. Extra buttons mess you up sometimes. Y'all notice that? All right. So here's what we got here. Okay. This hive right here. I'll just take y'all off here for a second. This hive right here, it's got a brood box. This is a honey box. This is a separator. This is a spacer box. And this is a honey super that we've spun the honey out of. They're cleaning it up. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take these two off. Then we're gonna come down here and we're gonna see if we can find the queen. We're gonna check to make sure she's brooding, that she's laying. And we're gonna check for colony, how much, and all that good stuff. Because if she's really being prolific, then I can bring some of her brood and put it into this hive. This is a 3-pound package. If I can do that, then I can stimulate this queen over here to lay maybe faster or deeper. I don't know. It helps them. If we keep the population up, that is the best thing that I can possibly do for these hives, is to keep the populations up. So now I got to put on my zoot suit and I got to smoke them. Now, to smoke them, you can see all I got in here is grass, and underneath there is cedar chips. People say, well, why do you use cedar chips? Because I got cedar chips. All right, use what you got, folks. Now we're gonna let that burn for a second. Pull this, and it draws the fire into the can, of course, and that's all we're doing. We're trying to get it to catch on fire. I'm wanting the chips to get on fire. See, the grass will burn out. See, it'll burn out, and I don't want the fire to be too hot. Okay, I don't want to smoke them with fire. I want to smoke them with smoke. A smoldering is what I want. Let's see if we can do it right here. See, look at that. Good smoke. The first we're gonna do is take off the top of the lid here. It's gonna smoke underneath here. If there's any bees, all right. This is on there tight. That's a good thing. That means that they've been in here. Now, I'll come around. I'm gonna smoke them. It doesn't take much smoke. It really doesn't. I have smoked a fool out of them, and then I've just barely smoked them. What I'm doing is I'm confusing the pheromones that the bees have. They operate by pheromones, and so if I can get their pheromones covered, then they won't put the pheromone out that says, "Oh, protect the hive, protect the hive." That's the one you don't want, more so than anything else. If y'all can hear the chopper going over, that's a life flight chopper. Pray for somebody. It's coming to get them. That's coming to get them chopper right there. The reason I know it's coming to get them is because it's going towards the hospital, not away from it. Here in Fannin County, Georgia, the hospital was decertified. I believe that somebody else has bought it now, but we still don't have a good answer for a hospital yet. All right. Yeah, see, that's why you want to smoke right there. I tucked a piece of burlap in there. That always helps. That's just my neighbor. They're out there testing their powder guns. You smoke them real good now. And I'm actually smoking both hives. All right. Not gonna get into the other one for a little bit, but I want to smoke it. I want to keep the smoke on the ready there. Whew. Now I'm gonna put on my bee suit because we're fixing to dive on in here. And when we get in here, you don't ever know what kind of welcome you're gonna get or not. And so I want to be ready for whatever happens to be the temperature of the bees. Now this first part should go fairly quickly, simply because if they've already cleaned this up, and I believe they have, then they will already have moved out of it. Most of their business will have been done, and they will have moved out of it. So there we go. Y'all can hear these zippers. I've got 3 zippers on this suit that does a cross section and covers, because a bee wanting to get into my suit, all they have to find is 3/8 of an inch and they will come through. And if they get mad, they're rather persistent looking for that little gap. So I got 3. Yeah, this is the 4th one is actually on my face mask, and I'm able to put my glasses back on. At least I had a hat. Okay, well, I'm okay though. All right. I don't know if I'll need my gloves today or not. I got my hive tool. I'm ready to go. Let's see what we got here, guys. First, we're going to pull this off and take a look. Specifically, there's not a lot of bees in here, which is what I was expecting. All right, they pretty much have gotten out all the excess honey from when I spun it. Now what I do is I turn it like this so that I can see through it. You can see the light through the other side, and that shows me there's not a lot of bees in there. There's a few. There's always a few. Okay, that's that's honey. That's the good stuff to get. So we're taking that off, and that's going back. That's not going to go back on. Then we're popping this guy off. This is nothing but a separator. Okay, it's all we had that in there for was separation. I'm setting it off to the side, and then we're going to smoke the hive proper. Okay, when you smoke it, the bees run down into the hive. They're running down and hiding in the hive is what they're doing. Okay. Now, we got that done. We're gonna pop this lid right here. You hear that pop? That's a good thing. That tells you that they're in there sealing this thing up. Honeybee hives are hermetically sealed. Okay? They quite literally seal everything with propolis. All right, there's not a lot happening up here, but I want to take a look-see real quick. If the queen is up here, she's probably going to be right here or right here, one of these 2 places. She could be anywhere in the hive, first and foremost. And I want to see her. I want to get a look at her if I can. All right, see this one? This is honey. And I put this in here on purpose. This is honey to feed the bees with, so they can get through the first tough weeks of the spring. And y'all know how spring has been this year. We've been on and off again with some spring. It's like, okay, winter has been playing some serious games with us. What I'm looking for in here is anything that's brood. Now this is honey again. All right, see the darker? That's all honey. It's capped honey. Something for the bees to eat. That's what I want them to have. Okay, I want them to have something to eat. All right, now what happens is the bees will fill the boxes we call supers, okay? And so the bees will fill this super up first with honey. So if I've already got it full of honey, then when I put the honey boxes on, then the bees will plain and simply start filling up the one that I'm going to rob from them first. And I like that idea because that means I get honey. And that's what we're all about is, you know, getting the honey and stuff. Now, don't you take a look here. You see, they're docile. They're not really, not giving us any trouble here today. Okay. I'm looking for the queen. She could be in here. I don't see any brood in here. And that's usually, brood is the eggs. It's the eggs and the larvae growing up. So there's no brood in here, but that doesn't mean she won't be here. The queen goes all the way through the hive and she's wherever she wants to be, okay? You'll hear people, they'll say, well, the queen never comes here and never goes there. The queen goes every place in the hive. I actually one time took the top board off of a hive and the queen was sitting on the top board. And I was like, well, okay then. I know where you are. Again, nothing but honey. All right. But I want to take a look. We're checking the strength of the hive here. See the populations? Okay, there's lots and lots of bees in here. This is a good thing now, okay? It's a good thing. We want strong hives. We want big populations. That smoke's getting me as much as it's getting the bees. And this is the last one I'm gonna look at over here. And as you can see, again, lots of honey. But see, this is planted honey. I put this in here to make sure that they had, number one, plenty to eat because I don't want them starving to death. This is the last hive that I had that made it over the winter. I had in November, I believe it was November, at least in December, I had 18 hives. And comes here in January, I was down to 4. Attrition has really whipped me this year, just to say the least. Okay, now, we're gonna put this back in. We're gonna take this whole box off and set it over to the side. First things we're gonna do is we're gonna send some love down here. Okay. And we're gonna try and pop this box and see if it's gonna pop off, how hard or easy. Okay. That wasn't bad, had a good snap. Now it's heavy, folks. Understand that. Now these burr combs right here, you see these things right here? We used to think that was burr combs. It's actually bridges. The bees have worked really hard to make bridges, just like you make throughways in your house or whatever. The bees make throughways in their hives. Now we're going to check and see if we can find Queenie Belle. I always start pulling from the place I think she's not. The reason is because I want to pull these. These frames from off the side over here, and I'm looking for her. All right, now this one right here. Again, there's nothing on here. All right, so she's not brooding over this way. This one, excuse me, this one is honey. Okay, so it's not brooding here. I'm looking for my queen. I'm looking for her to be brooding. That means laying eggs in a nutshell, okay? Again, I got plenty of honey and I'm not seeing any brood. I'm looking, thinking that I'm gonna see the brood in here. That's just where the most of the bees are. That's typically where they will congregate, is around that queen. Wherever she's at, whatever she's doing, that's what the hive is interested in doing too. Okay, more honey, no brood, no queen. Now somebody's gonna say, well, how do you look for the queen? You don't actually look for the queen. You're looking for something that doesn't look like the rest of the hive. The queen is the only bee that looks like she. All right, everybody else looks like something else. Okay, the queen is she's a big old fat rascal most of the time, if she's any age. And this queen lived over the winter, so she should be a good-sized queen. Now I've got brood on this package here. Okay. This is brood right here. All right. The difference, you can see it's sort of like the other had a waxy cover. This has got like a filmy cover. All right. That's brood. That's where the baby bees are. And I was really hoping that I was going to come in here and have a whole bunch of brood. So far, I have been let down. Now, there's a lot more brood on this one. Still not a lot of brood. I was looking for this to be fully covered with brood, just one end to the other, top to bottom. Still haven't seen my queen. I've got some eggs in there. I can see them. So I know my queen is here. I don't have any baby brood. I got 7-day brood. I can see that there. So I know she's here. Well, I know she's been here in the last week. Now, in the event that she were to die for some reason or another, however she was to go and die, the bees will take and they will grab an egg and they will make a special cell for her. Okay? The bees will take and they will grab an egg and they will make a special cell for her, that egg, and they will build a queen cell and they will make a new queen. The bees do this naturally. You don't have to tell them to do that. It's one of the things you can actually count on. Also, what I'm looking for is to make sure that I don't have any swarm cells. If I've got queen cells in here right now with a queen running through here, I'm going to find this queen and I'm going to move her out of this cage. I'm going to move her into another box with a couple of things of brood and honey, and I'm going to start a new hive, because once there's a queen cell in this hive, this queen that's here now will swarm. It's not a maybe she'll stay. It's not a if we remove all of the other queen cells, she'll stay. She is going to swarm. And if you don't take her out of here, she's going to leave, and she's going to leave with about half of the hive. If I take her and pull her out when she's getting ready to brood, when she's getting ready to swarm, I can pull her out and she won't take half of the hive. I can take a small number of it, and she thinks that she swarmed. She don't know how many bees are going to swarm with her. Okay, she don't count them. But that's what I'm looking. If there's a queen cell on here, you would see it immediately. It looks like a knot. Okay, that's what it is. It looks just like a big old fat juicy knot right there in the middle of the cell. It looks like something that grew out of it or something, like a, I don't know, like a cyst or something. But I'm not seeing any queen cells. I'm not seeing the queen, but I am seeing brood. See in here, if you can see the whites in there, that's brood. And the cap brood, I can see that. And I can see where I've got some brood that's being popped open. So I know that my bees are being born, they're being delivered. All right, haven't seen any queen cells. That's a good thing. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put this guy back together. Oh goodness. The older you get, the harder this gets on you, folks. I'll tell you that right now. What I'm going to do, these right here, these bridges, I don't want to lose these bridges, okay? The bees worked hard to get those bridges in there, and so I want to keep them. So I'm going to move these back over here. Harder than you think, because all of these pieces have propolis on them. Propolis is what the bees use. These pieces have propolis on them. Propolis is what the bees use to seal the hive. Okay, they hermetically seal this hive, and trust me when I say it is sealed, folks. Now I'm going to put this one right here because I want her to move into this. I want this to become her brooding, and hopefully she will come over here and decide that she likes this and she will brood it. Hmm. Hmm. I'm pulling a frame out of this box and putting it in this box. The reason that I'm doing that is because if she's not going to use this frame, they may use it for honey where she won't use it for brood. And so that's what I'm doing with that. All right, let's see here. I gotta get these guys squirts back over. Okay, that's how you do that. And what I want to do is I want to ease this back into its position. I don't want to beat it down into the hole and stuff like that. I have done that. You end up having to do that sometimes, but you don't want to. I want to leave this box as gently as I can with as little interference from me as I can. I don't want them to thinking about me all the time, okay? Now, is in here, at least he's been in here for 3 days ago. That's what we were trying to find out, and we've got it. Now we're gonna go, oh my goodness, this thing's heavy. I'm gonna start going to the gym. Now, this box right here, when it's full of honey, will weigh 90 pounds. By the way, this box has one notch. This box, it even says on it's idiot proof, front side toward up, will weigh 90 pounds. By the way, this box has one notch. This box, it even says on it's idiot proof, front side toward up, front side up, boom. Okay. And now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set this box right here for a few minutes. The bees will come off of this box and go back into their hive. It won't take them long, but it will take them a minute. So we're just leaving them alone, letting them do the bee stuff. It won't take them long, but it will take them a minute. So we're just leaving them alone, letting them do the bee stuff that they do. Okay? And we are closing this hive up. All right? And once we've closed this hive up, what we're going to do is we're going to spin around to the other hive. Right there, it's just a rock. Use that weight to keep the balance. Right there, it's just a rock. Use that weight to keep the balance on the camera. Y'all forgive me while I'm doing this. There's, as far as I know, there's no remedy for this one. All right. Hold on. Here. Just don't want to play, y'all. Here. Just don't want to play, y'all. Well, I kicked that off. Let's see here. Really just don't play. That's what we can do. Let's see if this works. I got a piece of wood and put on there hoping that I could achieve some form of balance. I have to put enough weight on it to keep it from tilting over and not so much weight that it breaks the little flimsy lid thing that I got there. So here we go. All right, we smoked these guys a little bit earlier. We're gonna smoke them again. All right. This box is actually empty. I got a feeder in here, and I'm gonna refeed these bees here probably today. This is a 3-pound package. The reason that I don't have a bunch of honey on top of this one is because the number of bees is small. There's not enough bees in here to facilitate keeping that on here. You can't give the bees too much room because too much is as bad as not enough. All I'm doing is flipping off the bees that are on here so that they fall in the hive. If these are nurse bees, okay, nothing. So I don't want them getting hurt and stuff. Now in this hive, I need to find some brood. I don't want them getting hurt and stuff. Now in this hive, I need to find some brood. Okay, I need to know that this queen is laying eggs. Most kosher, wonderful. Okay, as if she's not laying eggs, then with a new most kosher, wonderful. Okay, as if she's not laying eggs, then with a new package, then this hive is a walking dead hive. All right, so I'm going to be looking specifically. I've got honey in here, by the way. They're not starving either. Okay, first thing I'm going to do is going to pop out one of the frames that she's probably not on. Again, she might be on any frame. So I always try to be at least a little bit on the careful side, taking them out, because if you pull it out and you crush her, you have just messed up big time. Here we go. That big old fat guy, that's a drone. It's just a male bee. That's the only thing that male bees do is they pollinate the queen and they're done. Okay, they have sex one time in their life and they fall to the ground dying happy. I'm not seeing the queen on here at all. I'm not seeing any activity. I got no brood. All right, I didn't expect any, so don't think I'm getting upset here. But this one right here, I'm going to take and I'm going to move to right here, just so I don't have to take that many bees out of the hive at one time. I see the queen already on this right here. I will show her to you. Oh. She's right in here. There she is, right there, right up underneath my thing. See her right there? See her pushing her way through? Can y'all see that? There she is right there at the top, going back and forth. Now I'm looking for brood. All right, I got eggs. Okay, my queen is laying. Okay, good deal. Now that is what I was opening this up for, was to find out whether my queen was indeed laying the eggs. I need the brood. And so I'm just going to slip her back in here and leave her alone. Okay? She's doing what she needs to do. All right. Whew. Praise the Lord. Okay. All right. Whew. Praise the Lord. Okay. She's got plenty to eat. She's got plenty to do. All right. Now in about, she's got plenty to do. All right. Now in about a week or so, when I come back in here again and I start checking for good thing, that tells me that there's plenty for them to eat. I'm still leaving it in here. It's just as a reminder. And I'm gonna put the box back together. Remember, all this is a spacer, just so I can have that feeder inside. If I have the feeder outside, then the other hive will come over. Feeder inside. If I have the feeder outside, then the other hive will come over and they will, of course, they'll just come over and eat all the food out of it. All right, so here's what we're doing. Up front, remember, with the hive, we'll come over and they will, of course, they'll just come over and eat all the food out of it. All right, so here's what we're doing. Up front, remember, with the notch, and we're gonna cover back over. And folks, we have visited the hives today. We have made a good show. We've gotten done what we intended to get done. That's a good thing, because believe you me, there's enough days when you come out here and you get everything else done. Hallelujah. All right. Then you come out here. The next thing you do, of course, is you always clean up your zone out here. I put a brick on top, and I put the brick on top just because. All right. Well, let's see here. All right. We're still running. All right. I'm gonna turn you around here where I'm at. Howdy, Udi. That didn't work. All right. Well, hold on. I'm gonna flip you around if I can. Let's see. Where's the camera fertilizer? Look at the camera. Here I am. Okay. And so now, what we got now is plain and simple. Is we are in our cleanup. We always end up with cleanup. I mean, you know, who don't end up with cleanup, right? That's like the biggest norm out there. This is the suit. Remember I told you the 3 zippers? This one comes across this way. This one comes across this way. And then this one comes down. There's also a Velcro. This Velcro comes down over all 3 of them and seals up the last time that it comes in. And I got a face shield right here that I can unzip so I can get a drink of water or whatever, you know. So that's it for the day, guys. I'm live most nights from 9 to 11. I talk about God. I talk about current events and stuff. Sometimes I talk about bees, but mostly I just talk about God, how to live for God and stuff like that. Hope you'll come and enjoy it. Be with us sometime. In the meantime, God bless you. Y'all have a great day. This has been Bees with Clell. Bye, y'all. Anybody got any questions? Where do you live? What time is it there? I am in Blue Ridge, Georgia. It is, y'all. Anybody got any questions? Where do you live? What time is it there? I am in Blue Ridge, Georgia. It is